In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern where winter and spring and even summer at times are kind of having a battle. We're going to see this back and forth, mostly warmth in the east, but there will be cooler times. There will be these blasts from the Arctic Circle that just really explosively move in, and just as quickly as they move in, they're going to actually move out. So they're going to be very short-lived, but pretty intense. This will bring with it threats of severe weather and overall thunderstorms, so we're going to be going over all of that today. I'm excited to announce that I just released a brand new vlog. Right as you're watching this video, it is available on my Ashton Blue channel. You can check it out on the top right corner of your screen, the pinned comment and description down below. We went to Florida, we went boating, we went to a Disney resort, we went all sorts of places. We went to Disney Springs, it was awesome, and we saw and actually encountered a very intense thunderstorm that hit us while we were boating, and we had to get out of there really quickly. Okay, we might get hit actually. Rachel, what's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, get us out of here! Check it out today. Subscribe to that channel, like I said, like the video and comment down below that video because it helps me out so much as I'm just beginning to grow that channel. It helps it get suggested to more people, which is very, very hard to do when you're first starting out. So that would mean the world to me if you guys would just go do those three things over on that channel. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into things. We're taking a look at the 500 millibar wind speed. So this is going to give us a good idea of some of the mid-level winds that are going on, some idea of some jet streams overall. We can see the flow is a trough in the west, ridge in the east right now, something like this. But what we're going to see is these explosive areas of Arctic air that are going to move down. So let's take a look at this. First off, this is a perfect example of some of the Gulf flow that we've been having recently. This is for tomorrow on Thursday the 1st. And we could see things moving kind of horizontally across Mexico and Texas, but then they just really lift up here into the eastern states. This is going to bring hot, humid weather up the eastern seaboard, even pretty interior for areas of the deeper south into the Ohio Valley. So that is going to be a big time factor here. Looking at Friday on the 2nd, we get one of these Arctic invasions where we get the Arctic air really pushing in from the Arctic Circle. Again, this doesn't mean 32-degree weather. This doesn't mean literally freezing weather, but this air is blasting down from the Arctic, to say the least. We can see, and this is a great example, we have a southern jet and a northern jet. The northern jet here is actually ridging over the west, and then pretty quickly moving vertically northward through the Ohio Valley and Midwest. I would say northeastward here. This usually spells pretty good chances for thunderstorms in these areas if there's enough instability. We'll see if that's the case in a moment. But this is definitely a turbulent pattern that we're in right here by Friday afternoon. And we see that by the time we're reaching Sunday, something interesting happens. We get this Arctic air mass that has moved down from Canada. It actually gets cut off from the main jet stream. If we were to track that main jet stream, it's way up here. And then what we get with this is it's actually just swirling. It gets completely cut off from the overall jet stream. So this is going to keep cooler, drearier weather around for a couple of days here. We see that last through Monday. Look at it just spinning. Monday, Tuesday. There's actually one out west as well, as the northern stream by this point is just way up here. So we get these two areas of circulation just kind of hanging out there in the United States. And then by the time we reach next Wednesday, this one is lifting off, eventually getting caught up in the main jet stream. But just as quickly as that one moves out, we actually get a second one to move down for Friday on the 9th here, potentially. That one hangs out, moves out. Little quick backdoor cold front right here. So we get an overall ridge across the central and western states, but this really quick trough over the eastern states is present here in the long range, so take it with a grain of salt, but by Tuesday the 13th there. And then we do get into a warmer pattern once again overall with no Arctic blasts by the time we're reaching the 15th of May here, with a really clear ridge look in the east here with a trough in the west. So let's take a look at some of our precipitation and storminess that is happening across the nation. As we reach towards this evening, we do see a area of pretty well established thunderstorms for the deeper south into some of like the lower Midwest. This is going to bring with it a pretty big chance for severe weather. There's also a marginal risk here for North Carolina and areas of Virginia, so some scattered thunderstorms in that area are anticipated. As we move towards tomorrow afternoon, this pocket of thunderstorms that was down here goes ahead and moves up and forms a low actually over the lower peninsula of Michigan, bringing with it a pretty large chance of thunderstorms from the Mid-Atlantic and Ohio Valley down through some of the Appalachian Mountain Range and into the deep south there. So we'll be watching this very closely. By the time we're reaching Saturday here on the 3rd, we get a very large area of precipitation along the east. We have a weak low over Pennsylvania. So this tells me typically that we're going to be seeing more showery activity up here to the north of that low, but areas to the south of it will have a really good shot of thunderstorms here. So mostly the southeast corner of the nation. We are getting more stormy in the west, I would say, especially along that more west coast area where there is still mountainous snowfall occurring, believe it or not, into May, but also some rainfall for many different areas out there. Sunday, on the 4th, we also have a pretty good chance of thunderstorms for a lot of areas here in the east, although things have cooled off, so could be more showery in nature. Time will tell, of course, with that. Monday the 5th, still precipitation in the area. And also, we have a pretty formidable low forming over Colorado. This is bringing mountaintop snowfall and rainfall for a lot of different areas in there, and also some thunderstorms sparking up for the plains just to the east of that low is going to be a likelihood there by Monday. If not by Monday, certainly by Tuesdays, we get this elongated area of thunderstorms from South Dakota and Wyoming southward through Nebraska, East Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, and down through into Texas. Amazingly, we still have large amounts of precipitation in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. So this could be a dreary few days, starting mostly Sunday, Monday, Tuesday here, multiple days in a row with some showers around. Less likely to be thunderstorms, but possible, I would say. Wednesday, a lot of our thunderstorm chances are going to be mostly for the deep south into Texas and Oklahoma. But again, some of these areas may be experiencing thunderstorms up there in the Mid-Atlantic and Ohio Valley as well as the Northeast, but don't be surprised if it's mostly showery up here as opposed to thunderstorms. By Thursday on the 8th, we do see an area of very cold air moving down from the Arctic Circle. Some of Michigan and Canada seeing some snowfall perhaps by Thursday the 8th. This is in the medium, I would say medium to long range, so take it with a grain of salt, but interesting to see. We do have thunderstorms present throughout the plains and deep south for like the 10th day in a row here. Friday, a lot of this starts to move towards the east, so we see still the deeper south, but up the eastern states, we're dealing with instability and thunderstorms forming overall throughout all of these areas. And certainly by Saturday, we see them very present all the way up into New England from the southeast, so from Florida to Maine, really Louisiana over to Florida up to Maine. We have thunderstorms possible in that kind of Saturday the 10th time frame. Although this is far enough out where things do change a lot. So again, take it with a grain of salt. Southeast for Sunday the 11th. We see the east stays active into Monday the 12th, even Tuesday the 13th. It's finally moving out. There's that backdoor cold front we were talking about earlier. And then we do warm up in the east overall for the days following. We do get a low forming over the Dakotas. Again, could be totally not even happening by the time we get there, as this is 360 hours out, but this would spark potentially another severe weather outbreak if something even similar to this was to occur. Let's go and take a look at the total precipitation, and actually we've seen a huge surge in the east. Obviously, I missed yesterday's video with terrible allergies. This has been the worst allergy season I can remember for me. I've had many days where I have just been sneezing nonstop from morning till night. And yesterday was another one of them. But with all that being said, we missed one day, but between the last 2 days, we've switched from a pretty far below average precipitation pattern in the east to a average to maybe even above average pattern in these areas. Still the plains and Rockies looking to do good. So let's look at the anomalies here. And really the driest area is that northern plains, upper Midwest area, as well as the Northwest here. And then we have above average expected from the Four Corner states, the Rockies through the deep south, southeast, mid-Atlantic, and northeast there. All of these areas experiencing mostly above average precipitation. So we've really turned the page and gone towards the opposite here in a hurry. Storm Prediction Center outlooks for day 1 here. We do have a very large general thunderstorm risk area. And, you know, if you were to start tracking from March through April into May and then eventually into June and July, these general thunderstorm risk areas typically are going to get larger and larger and larger because we're so warm and humid once we reach the summer. It's hard to even rule out thunderstorms for anywhere. So we're seeing these get larger. That's the time of year we're in. This is where we expect general thunderstorms, but they are very, very tricky to forecast. So they do get this wrong sometimes, and we do see severe weather in these sometimes. So heed every watch, warning, and advisory still. 2 darker green areas, that's going to be your level 1 marginal risk where we expect isolated severe weather. We do see the 2 yellow areas as well, and that's your level 2 slight risk where we expect scattered about severe weather. And then your orange area there for Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas is your level 3 enhanced risk where we expect a little bit more widespread severe weather for the day today on Wednesday the 30th. Day 2 tomorrow, we have, again, very large general thunderstorm risk, a sweeping marginal and slight risk there. So another kind of scattered severe weather day tomorrow for Thursday the 1st of May. And then finally for day 3 here on Friday, May 2nd, we do see another large general thunderstorm risk area and another sweeping level 1 marginal risk as well that'll impact very many different states with isolated severe weather unless we get an upgrade, which it being day 3 tells me there is a chance of that for sure. So keep that in mind. No extended day outlooks as of today, but I suspect obviously in the coming, few days we will see more of those and see some threats in the medium range that we can start to talk about. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe. We upload almost every single day, unless I'm having terrible allergies. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.